a national title was sliced down to 80. We have reached one of the most anticipated days of the wrestling calendar. The Wells Fargo Center, the setting for the quarterfinal round. Up at the bottom of the bracket coming in as the number 2 seed. Another full house here in Philadelphia. The quarterfinal round underway. Penn State, 10 quarterfinalists this afternoon. That's only been done twice in the long history of this sport of wrestling. Iowa, Iowa State, the other two teams that have accomplished that feat. What the Nittany Lions were able to do yesterday, as TJ described, no surprise. And now how will they deliver in the spotlight of the quarters?
And what a good way to start with Luke Lillendahl. He is just one of the quickest guys at 125, and you want him to start off. But you have Seymour, who is not just a Lehigh wrestler, but he's a fifth year. He's been in the trenches for a long time.
Seymour in on that leg. Lillendahl with that whizzer applied near the edge. Now Lillendahl works his way back up to his feet. Seymour still has that leg elevated, and Lillendahl able to clear it out. So scoreless a minute in, first period. Meanwhile, on the right side of the screen, Oklahoma State, one of those teams in the race. Troy Spratley, the 7 seed, Matt Ramos, the 2 seed for Purdue.
When I look at both these mats right here, I see something that's just amazing. Lillendahl and Ramos both are world class. They have been on world teams and age groups. They are world class on their feet, and you don't find that often, especially with Lillendahl being a true freshman. He's not like a true freshman. He comes in seasoned.
Spratley is going to be in your face. Oklahoma State, he comes with a hard left leg lead, and he will continue to be there, but he has to be able to pick his spots, because if you don't pick your spots correctly with number 2 seed Ramos, it could be a problem for you.
Spratley, the redshirt sophomore, Plano West High School, the 2-time NCAA qualifier. His teammates call him Sparkplug, as he has really emerged as a leader on this team, really set the tone throughout the course of the year. The tip of the sword, if you will, in duels, and it was a strong duel season in David Taylor's first year in Stillwater.
Beyond that, at one point, Spratley was the number 2 ranked wrestler in the country, so he can compete at this high level.
A little cautious out of the gates on all 4 of our quarterfinal bouts, all scoreless. Inside a minute to go. Now Ramos shoots, and he got caught by Spratley.
He kind of dove in there and got caught with the underhook. That's how you started off. Very impatient shot by Ramos there. He kind of just lunged in there. Watch him just lunge. Lunged, he got caught with the underhook and got pancaked.
Really nice job by Ramos coming through and avoiding disaster there and not giving up any near fall points.
That's when he kind of just rushed it, you know? He just kind of just pushed it. Because he's a bigger 25-pounder, he has longer arms, he thought he could do it, but great defense by Spratley to kind of down block and catch him with the underhook.
Now it's the little battles inside a match. Can Spratley latch on and ride him out for the final few moments? And he does. So Spratley, a 3-0 lead. The mistake there with that long-range shot by Ramos, and he made him pay.
And look at that body language by Spratley there. You know, doing a little backflip, popping up. It's just the way it was drawn up. A takedown and a ride out. That's the way you do it.
You end the period on top. 3-0.
Speaking of riding, that's what Lillendahl is trying to do, and he gets 30 seconds of riding time, but Seymour able to get away. Seymour right back on his offense near the edge.
One thing we haven't talked about yet, and what could make a difference, is how you come off the scale. Yes, they got an extra pound, but still, you just don't know. Wrestling last night, trying to hydrate yourself throughout the day, and then starting off early in the morning, or actually afternoon.
Spratley still leading 3-0. Now Ramos trying to come out from underneath if he can clear that arm. Spratley trying to hang on for dear life here.
He's moving, getting the hips out. All he's got to do, he's got to own that leg now.
There's your reversal. Going to come out if Spratley can if he can get that arm out of his leg.
That is a reversal now.
Ramos is really tough on top. His influence, A.J. Shop, who was at Edinburgh and then came as a longtime assistant, and he, for many years, was a great influence from the top wrestling. And we know he can throw big moves, because who will forget the semifinals when Ramos pinned Spencer Lee, shocked the world, and he's got big moves, and he believes in himself.
I'm looking for Lillidahl to really open up his shots. You know, snapping there, but, you know, not seeing him really attack like I normally see his rapid-fire attacks.
You make a really good point there, Rock. I mean, the key is feet moving from tie to angles, hands moving all the time, and he usually is. I mean, that's the difference he usually separates himself with. Here's where Penn State's really good. Coming out from underneath.
And Lillidahl is away, so we are squared away at 1 in the third period.
In situations like this, when a 1-1 match and it's kind of tight, I always lean towards the person that's more offensive. And that's Lillidahl. He moves a little more, shoots a little more than Seymour, but as we saw on the second side of the mat, on the screen rather, all it takes is one bad shot.
Short time on the right side of your screen. Spratley leading by 2, 4-2 for Oklahoma State, as they will head into the third period. Meanwhile, tied at 1 in the third. This becomes a takedown match with Seymour and Lillidahl. Seymour, keep in mind, he was part of a real tough weight class for Lehigh a year ago. He had Luke Stanich to deal with. Stanich now redshirting. 5th year on campus for Seymour, making his first NCAA appearance.
Head coach of Lehigh, Pat Santoro, a two-time NCAA champion Pitt, has done a masterful job of setting up this this strategy to slow down Lillidahl for his wrestler, Seymour.
And what's been the key on that? What have you seen Seymour do that's been able to slow down a guy that not many can?
Well, he has not allowed Lillidahl to have the pace and to dictate the ties. And right now, splits. Got to the edge of the mat. He doesn't want to turn here. You don't want to turn and kick. Doing a great job there, Seymour here on the left, of keeping Lillidahl from getting that takedown. Nice job.
Lillidahl should have stepped out. Lillidahl, he still got the stall call. As soon as somebody kicks out like that, you step out of bounds, and that's an automatic stall call, but the referee still called stall. And Matt Ramos made the decision to let Spratley up.
Sudden victory with Penn State and Lehigh on the left. Ramos in on the leg on the right on Spratley.
He's got plenty of time with under a minute left. This is quarterfinal action right here. Let's keep in mind that Seymour does have a stall against him. It's sudden victory if the first point goes. Oh, that was sweet. That was sweet. But look at the Funk Master there. Nothing. What stingy defense there by Seymour. And look at Spratley. Spratley's holding on. He can eat this out. Almost there. Nothing yet. As long as Lillidahl continues to move, he's not almost fingers. He's almost behind. He's going to get it. Not yet. Keeping the motion going. Is Lillidahl going to get it? Not quite. What stretch there by Seymour. Seymour is not giving up. He's holding on. He's going to hold on. What fight here by Seymour. Not there. Unbelievable. Almost a miracle. Look at this fight here. Seymour. What heart there. Unbelievable. And now Seymour's in a better position. He's going to slide out and get his hips away. Almost there. Is he going to get it? Not quite. No takedown. We're almost there. Foot still in. No. Out of bounds. Wow. Lillidahl's got to keep moving there.
That's the key right there. Moving the feet, moving the hands. Seymour's done a great job of not allowing Lillidahl to get the ties he wants and keeps him.
Lillidahl doesn't have that pop now.
Look at the way Seymour's working that head down.
Low shot there by Seymour. Inside 10 seconds to go. That last exchange taking a lot out of the tanks of both of these wrestlers, and they're going to need to dig deep as we go into the tiebreaker, the flip of the disc.
Now, at this point, it's 2 30-second rideouts. Score as many points as you can. Riding time does make a difference, but you wrestle through these 30 seconds.
Eddie Ventresca, Jet Strickenberger tied up one. Little bonus wrestling as well as the Big 12 and the ACC collide. Ventresca in on that low shot.
He's in a good position there. Ventresca looks like he's going to get this right here. He's getting his hips across. He's got his keep skirting. Looks like Ventresca's going to go and be a semifinalist, and indeed he is.
The All-American from a couple of years ago utilized his red shirt last season. He is back, and he loves the month of March.
Let's keep in mind, Seymour does have a stall call. That's a big deal, because if you drop down and there's a 5 count, then it could be a stall call. So Seymour has to be very smart. First, he wants to keep Lillidahl down. Secondly, he wants to eliminate that riding time. Man, my heart is racing.
Seymour into position. Quick stand up by Lillidahl. Now the hand fight. See what Seymour elects to do with him. Brings him back down to the mat briefly. And now the continuation of action, and they go out of bounds.
And that's what it takes. It might take 5 run off the mats right there, but that's why you do 10-second goes in practice, you know, day after day after day. So he's in good position to eliminate that riding time.
Only 3 seconds, and then it goes into his nothing. Now this what he's got to let go of that. He's got to let go of that because of the drop down. He's going to get a stall call. It doesn't matter. So look, he's got the stall call, but he was still in control. So now he's got to hold him down for 5 more seconds. It is now 2-2.
Lehigh coaches communicating that with a junior from Troy, PA.
He's got 5 seconds. He literally can drop down, and then the stall call will count, and he should have enough time. Lillidahl's got to explode. He's got to hold on. He's just got to hold on there. Look at Seymour. Look at Mr. Seymour.
The first loss taken by a Penn State wrestler. Day 2, opening round in the quarterfinals. And it goes to the first-year NCAA qualifier, Sheldon Seymour. He split time with Luke Stanich a season ago. Bounced around between 125 and 133. He stepped into the role, and a big moment for Seymour as we send it down to Quint Kesnick.
Sheldon, congratulations. We're really emotional with your corner. What was the plan?
Oh, just stay in good position. Just keep doing what I do, and good things will come. You just have it in God's plan.
How would you describe the emotion that we saw amongst the Lehigh?
Oh, it's great. We have a amazing fan base and great training partners. It's just an awesome experience.
Congratulations, Sheldon.
Final on the bottom half. In fact, it's the Big Ten flexing their muscle at this way. Bird and Davis off and running on the left. Uzakis and Ayala, Iowa, Ohio State on the right.
That nasty slide by Drake Ayala.
He's so good at applying and then feeling the pressure back and then hitting it. He applies, then he feels it back and hits it.
And one of the things that Uzakis does is wrestles from his knees often, and when you wrestle on your knees like that, it's going to happen again.
And look at, he's not going to keep Uzakis. Uzakis' best offense is underneath. And so you see the strategy right now. Ayala, take down, let him up, take down, let him up. We're going to be on our feet.
And Uzakis has got to get off his knees. If he's on his knees, he's going to get shucked like that, slide by all match long.
Speaking of offense, Lucas Bird, if he, head position so important for him, getting that underhook, you see him digging it there, but if he stays offensive, he'll win. He's just got to stay offensive. He's got great solid technique, no fear going up against Braden Davis, the Nittany Lion, a little elevator, but Lucas Bird being offensive right away. That's the ticket to a win for Bird.
Let me tell you something. Drake Ayala is looking incredibly sharp. overhead slide bys, single legs, and as you said, TJ, he's not wrestling him on the mat. Oh no.
This is about winning. This is about staying in your lane, doing what you need to do to move on.
3 takedowns for Ayala in the opening 90 seconds. Iowa has had an individual finalist for 34 consecutive years. And a wrestler in the finals every year since 1990, and in 48 of the last 49 tournaments dating back to 1975. And Ayala cruising early, a 9-3 lead. Meanwhile, Bird continues his ride, a 3-0 advantage on Braden Davis of Penn State.
Well, he's a monster. Bird from Illinois is a monster on top. He shortens every match he's in. He takes energy out of his opponents, and right now that's what he's doing. Look at this tight waist, looking for that half Nelson. Not only is he shortening the match, but he's sucking the energy out of Davis.
Let's see if Bouzakis can get a little traction. He gets his first offense dialed up. And he rides Ayala out to the corner, back to the start.
He got into a single, came up a body, and then it was clear that Ayala would have no parts with that.
Davis able to get up and away. He's on the board for the first time. 3-1 Bird. Short time in the first period. 40 seconds to go. Ayala gets the escape. A 10-6 advantage on Bouzakis.
Bouzakis is continuing to wrestle on his knees to get to the single on Ayala's left leg. Maybe he's going to wrestle this match like he usually wrestles tournaments. Slow start and then turns it on.
If he can get on the mat, if he can get underneath and have Ayala stay on top of him, but Ayala is not going to stay on top of him when he takes him down, or if he takes him down again. Because there is nobody more dangerous from a reversal standpoint to the back. Big moves, Bouzakis.
First period, Ayala with the lead. Let's go to the pin zone. Just a few moments ago, back Fugate, Wisconsin, Connor McGonigal, Virginia Tech.
And he horsed him over. Popped in, and look at this. He's in the quarterfinals. He is not letting McGonigal go. He's got to readjust just to get that shoulder flat. And right now, college is only 1 second, and that's all it took. Bono happy to get a semifinalist. What a surprise semifinalist. Ayala back in on a single.
The finish is so important. Coming to his legs just exactly, getting behind the hamstrings, finding the other leg, and getting the 3 points. Ayala really efficient there on his feet. Bird got a quick escape in the second period. Go ahead, 4-1.
Same thing continues. Ayala gets the takedown, cuts him free, and then he comes right back in a shot. Up 14-7. Look at Bird now, making some noise on the left for Illinois. He has the 3, and he might be thinking more.
Yeah, he tapped right at the hips and then really cinched on with the shoulders past 45, and that's going to be about a 7-point move there for Bird. The offense is rolling. When he's this offensive, he's almost unbeatable.
We talked about this at the opening, gentlemen, about the top 2 seeds doing what they're supposed to do. And these top 2 seeds at 133 are showing their strength. They are looking really, really tough.
Lucas Bird continuing to ride out the final few moments of the second period. He told us he's as hungry as ever. Back on the mat this year after medically redshirting a season ago. He had a dislocated bone in his hand. We get our first look at Romney and Rini, the other quarterfinal at 133. Cal Poly, a Pac-12 runner-up on top, 6'2", plus he has a mountain's worth of riding time as we hit the halfway point of this match.
For those that you don't really see West Coast wrestling, Romney really solid, had a good clean Las Vegas win, and he's been solid throughout the rest of the year. And he's showing that he's got a really tight ride here. Again, with a mountain worth of riding time.
You talk to anybody in the Cal Poly room, they talk about Romney's athleticism, his technique, and his endurance. A guy that just gets stronger the deeper the match goes. And he is using that strength in this second period. 2 minutes, 20 seconds of riding time for Romney. And he's a load at 33. He is a big guy at that weight class.
He is a solid 1 133 pounder.
We go back to Bird and Davis. Both wrestlers on their feet. Davis just got tagged with a stall. A minute to go. All Bird here, 11-1.
Bird's got to be smart here, and he will be, because Davis, you know, he is dangerous. He'd just like to get himself in a wrestling position, because when he can roll through in all positions, but Bird has neutralized him today.
And I see what's going on with Bird. His stance and his attention to keeping his positioning is very solid. And he's staying right in the middle with that NCAA. He's not hanging out on the out of bounds. Smart wrestling here.
He's so strong in the hip and back area. You see he's kind of hunching over there a little bit, but that's because of his strength in those back muscles there.
He's right there. What a strong performance here. Very controlled and dominant. The #1 seed, Lucas Bird, moving to the semifinals to be an All-American for the 3rd time.
What we've got in front of us, a clash heading, we're not there yet, but Ayala and Bird, they're 1-1. Ayala won the dual meet. Bird won the Big Ten championship match. Could they meet? We'll find out tonight.
Let's talk about Michael Poeta and what he's doing at Illinois. He's really building that program up.
He was very strategic. He had several that redshirted last year, and they brought 5 guys back into the lineup that he put aside, knowing this would be the year. And Bird was one of them. And Bird has another year, a medical year. People think he's a senior. Not so fast.
There's a lot of experience in that Illinois room this year when you talk about the Bronicles coming back, and obviously Ruth, who we will see a little bit later on, Bird and his years of experience.
I like that call that the official made in a Rainey-Romney match. You know how guys want to do that split just to get their foot off the end of the mat? He said you did that intentionally, so that's a stall call. Not going to make a difference in the match, but I like that call.
Final few ticks of the clock, and Zeph Romney has punched his ticket into tonight's semifinals. Cal Poly 8-2 winner. Romney advances on, the redshirt sophomore.
And Ayala put a beating on Buzakas, 23-10. Wow, he looked good.
Represented. Jesse Mendez on the right, Ohio State. The junior, the defending national champion, taking on Vance Bombar, the redshirt junior out of Greeley, Colorado. Hotbed for wrestling, it seems like, over the last couple of years. There have been a lot of good wrestlers coming from that area, that part of the state. Bombar, one of them.
And what you'll find out on the left side of Hardy and Frost, 2 different styles. Mendez back in, but Bombar is very tough on finishing, but Mendez just relentless. But I'm saying, on the left side of Hardy and Frost, Frost does everything well. He wrestles solid for his feet, on bottom and top, and Hardy has gotten that confidence. He is now creating more opportunities to score in unique situations.
Yeah, you said it right when you said relentless about Jesse Mendez, and getting that early takedown is something Bombar got on him the last time they wrestled, and he gave Mendez everything that he could handle. But Jesse, I'll tell you what, Jesse's motto is make your money in the mornings. There's no one that gets up earlier and gets after it any harder than Mendez. And you were talking about Hardy. He said, it's taken me 4 years to get my offensive mindset back. He was in high school, he had an offensive mindset. Then he went on a 2-year mission, comes back, and he's so good with leg defense that he started relying on it. And now he has worked himself back, and he knows that he's got to be great on his feet if he's going to win it all.
Good job there by Bombar to spin his way out of potential trouble. Yeah, TJ, you go back to Brock Hardy. He committed to Nebraska and signed with them back in 2017. The Husker staff knowing at that time that he was going to embark on that 2-year mission.
It's sneaky what he's doing here. He can either go for a cradle or back arm tilt. So when you flatten out, now he can go to what's called a back arm tilt. You see the back arm? His back arm is when he puts that elbow behind his opponent's back.
Sneaky is the right word, Brock, Rock for Brock. Rock for Brock.
Hey, that's my brother, you already know.
He is sneaky good.
Just looking for a little opening. Frost completely bellied out underneath. Hardy with 35 seconds to work, a 3-0 lead. Meanwhile, another takedown for Mendez. Bombar away, 6-2 for the Ohio State wrestler.
Watch how he lowers his level so well. You see Mendez, he'll lower his level and kind of pop in. And what we see here, Brock Hardy, we were talking about, he's either going to do a back arm tilt or a cradle. He's got that cradle lock.
Does he have enough time to execute it, though? That's the question. Short time. Frost just trying to get to that second period. And it looks like he will, but action from Mendez. 3 more.
TJ, he is relentless. He doesn't stop. He keeps moving, but Mendez wants to continue to show his offense. Look at him.
You know, a great time to just point out who his mentor was when he got there. Sammy Sasso took him under his wings when he got there, taught him how to work at the next level so he could get to the next level. And Sammy Sasso's retirement is well documented, but his influence is still in that Ohio State room.
Mendez really gravitated toward Sasso, especially early on, his first few years on campus. Two athletes so similar.
We've been talking about Mendez and how well he moves. He is the most competitive guy in the Ohio State room. Everyone agrees. It's almost to a point like they don't want to compete with him in board games. But let's just show his motions. Watch his motions low and run through. His knees didn't really hit the mat. Put his head right in the sternum and move right up. That's his 3rd takedown of the first period. Looking sharp.
Mendez starts underneath. Let's see if Bombar can get something started. Lightning quick stand up there from Mendez off the whistle. Bombar trying to stick that leg in, and Mendez is away.
That was a good shot. High C, and then he did a back arm to get behind the knee to bring him down to the mat.
Dropped in on that other leg. Really nice execution by Hardy.
And one of the things that he did, Hardy, once he got that trip, before he hit the mat, he was already moving to the tight waist before he got to the mat.
Mendez in control, so we slide in Bo Bartlett, the number 2 seed, and he leads 4-0 over Composto. A pin, no real surprise here. TJ as Hardy on the left gets the fall. Bonus points for Nebraska.
That was just streamlined wrestling right there. Went for a tilt, and we said unique ways. We're not sure what that move was. It was just unique. He felt it, got the ball, helps out Nebraska in their quest for a title.
Well, he told us, Rock, he said, what's it like wrestling you? And what'd he say? It's like trying to hold on to water.
Let's look at this. He goes in for a tilt. He does tilt the right way. Bottom leg elevated, and right leg on the mat. But watch him step over and still keep the leg. What is that called? It's just knowing where you are. I don't know how you teach that. It's just a feel.
Bartlett in a position that he loves. He's in control. He doesn't need a big lead. He's never going to build up a big lead. He knows just how to win. Trying to get Penn State, back in the winning ways. And, the first 2 matches, Penn State went down. It just reminds you, this tournament favors no one and it challenges everyone.
I like that.
And you really appreciate how tough it is to win a match at this level. 1-1, we get our first look at Josh Coderhunt of Navy and Cale Happel, Northern Iowa.
Stylistically, these guys are very similar. They want to be very close. It's not like they're going to take far distance shots like a Mendez. They want to be in that hand fight. Hand fight when you're close enough to grab someone's hand and keep touching the opponent. You see, they're not breaking and trying to dance around. They're going to stay right in the phone booth and just hand fight to create opportunities to score.
Coderhunt loves to stick those unders in, the whip over type motion for the Navy wrestler. Riding time is not a factor there. So tied at 1, inside a minute to go. Meanwhile, Bartlett doing Bartlett-type things in his match, and that means he's just nearly impossible to score.
You're right there, Sean. This is a typical Bartlett match. So tough, gets a takedown, and holds position very well.
I remember seeing an interview with Bartlett. He said his greatest rival is himself. How he's going to perform, compete. He's winning that battle, he said, this year. A guy that gets more black eyes probably than anybody in the country. He says the more black eyes he gets, the better. That means he's using his head.
Yeah, Bo Bartlett has an amazing demeanor. I mean, he loves it all. And, you know, it drives probably a lot of people close to him crazy because win or lose, he has a smile on his face because he loves this sport. And I'll tell you what, that's how you really get good. If you don't love this sport, you're never going to get to the highest heights that you have.
We going to overtime on the left side. We got that Midwest strength versus that military strength.
That Midwest straight Happel, his family, one of the great families in Iowa, several state championships. When I was coaching in high school, his dad, Dean, won a state championship for Lisbon High School, and he has had a stable of young studs come along. Cale Happel trying to be an All-American for the first time in his senior year.
Penn State has their first win in this quarterfinal round, 141 pounds, the 2 seed, nothing with riding time, your winner.
And Coder Hunt's been hit for stalling. What you'll see with Happel, he does not do a typical penetration step. He kind of just lowers his level and gets to a leg. The problem there is that when you just kind of just reach, you can get bumped. Coder Hunt's got to do a little something here. He's got that stall call. He doesn't want to back out here. He's got to circle. He's got to circle.
That's what he's trying to do as he works his way back inside that cylinder. Good job there by Coder Hunt. Heavy collar tie by Happel, the Big 12 champion. He's going to be getting married in 6 months. He met Ella as he gets it on that leg, and his fiance Ella's going to be happy if he can finish this leg attack off.
And that's what he does. He doesn't penetrate. He just kind of reaches for the leg. And now we're in a little scramble situation. Now Coder Hunt's in a good position. He's got to try to hook that bottom leg to get to a turn. If he can hook that bottom leg to a turn. But look, cradle, roll it, cradles. What do we have here? No control. 13 seconds left. Sudden victory, first point scores, that's it. Is it enough? He's holding on. I think we're going into the tiebreakers. What fight there.
We saw that fight with Seymour, and he ended up winning in the same kind of, you know, that was, you got to hang on to that leg like a tenacious dog, and that's what Happel did.
You got to just give yourself hope. Hold on, if I can just hold on, give me another opportunity to score. Say it again, fans. Coder Hunt has a stall against him. Keep that in mind. He's got to work to bring Happel to the mat. It's attempts to the mat.
Jay Cox gets them into position on the left. Happel underneath. Working on that grip, and he gets away.
Really nice job there of getting the hip separation, scooting those feet out. That was about not only hip separation and back pressure, but his feet getting out there and pushing off. Really nice job. Started with the back pressure. Quick escape for Happel.
Snap by Coder Hunt, trying to dig that left arm underhook. Happel repositions, and the tiebreaker comes to an end. Speaking of endings, Jesse Mendez put up 17. A 17-5 win against a familiar opponent in Vance Bombar. The defending national champion into the semifinals with a very impressive showing here this afternoon in Philly. Back to the tiebreaker with Coder Hunt and Happel.
Coder Hunt has 21 seconds.
Chose neutral. Yep, looking, he just says, hey, I can't get out that fast chances. I got to take down to win. So Happel an advantage here with 15 seconds left.
Good hand fight here, good position. This is what UNI does very well. With Doug Schwab, they work on hand fighting all the time. Hand fighting position.
Happel is
got the stall call, but there's only 4 seconds. He can just circle. Lateral movement. Elbows in.
Coder Hunt trying to get that premature start. He'll be given a warning, the caution given. Just trying to get that jump on him, and Happel backing up a couple of steps. And one of the vocal leaders of this team alongside Parker Keckeisen, Cale Happel, the senior from Lisbon, Iowa, in the tiebreaker, a 2-1 win for Doug Schwab and you and I. As we swing it down to Quint, he's with Jesse Mendez.
Jesse, congratulations. Noticing since the Big Ten, it feels like you got the eye of the
QR code yesterday. So have some fun, just like we are in this quarterfinal round as you take a look. Caleb Hinson, the defending champion from Virginia Tech. Jordan Williams out of Little Rock. Those two colliding on the left. Shane Van Ness, Penn State. Lachlan McNeil, North Carolina on the right.
On the right, you got two guys that were very, very much blue chippers coming out of high school. Blair Academy for Van Ness and McNeil, Wyoming Seminary.
Yeah, Van Ness, he likes to get in really tight, right into the opponent's face. Notice, yeah, he's moving in, and he's got great level changes, and then you'll see him do a little kind of like Real Woods. He'll post on his hands, look to have his opponent bite on his face, but he wants to stay in tight.
Sean, is there a #1 seed that people overlook more than Caleb Hinson? It seems like no one's really talking about the fact that he is undefeated and he just controls everyone.
Unblemished mark coming into the NCAAs. 25 straight wins for Hinson after picking up a pair yesterday. Now trying to get that offense on the edge with Williams. Hinson stays with it. Look at the mat presence there from Caleb Hinson. He did not have a lot of real estate to work with.
Keep wrestling. No matter where you are, you stop wrestling when you hear the whistle. Caleb Hinson, really good match IQ, changes the match as he goes along once he feels his opponent. So let's look at the situation right here. He goes to the leg to put in, and then Williams starts to roll. But what does Hinson do? He follows him to get the takedown. Mat awareness.
Nice job of continuing to move by Williams there and facing him for the escape.
Hinson, in his run to a national championship last year, became Virginia Tech's second national champion in program history, joining Mekhi Lewis, the 4th finalist in the history of Virginia Tech wrestling.
Van Ness, like we saw earlier with Happel, he doesn't do the typical penetration step. He kind of just lowers his level and kind of does a step to get to the leg, or just kind of a knee dip to get to his motion. He has to finish like that because Lachlan McNeil likes to sit to the corner when people do a penetration step. He likes to sit to the corner and work his offense there. So stylistically, Shane Van Ness is a good matchup against McNeil.
Hinson working hard on the left arm of Williams. This is the part of the mat where he secured the takedown a few moments ago, but Williams able to shake off that drag and come back with the 3 of his own. Wow, that was pretty from Jordan Williams.
That's a confidence builder. The aggression of Hinson, and then just the shifting of the body of Williams. Now he gets him up.
Yeah, this finish is really nice by Williams. Watch how he sags right down there. Hip anchoring. Great job up the edge. Good mat savvy by Williams.
He's been doing that inside trip since his days as a high schooler, and
Ridge Levitt on a roll here. He's got his offense going on against an opponent, the freshman Cannon Webster, who he only defeated 1-0 in the Big Ten championships, out front 7-0 now, having his way.
After that first round match that he had, he's been turning it up. We're tied up after the first period.
Been a nice run for the freshman for Illinois and Cannon Webster. Big Ten runner-up, as TJ alluded, losing to Lovett 1-0. First year in the Illinois lineup, 3-time Illinois state champion.
Obviously not being able to get to Ridge Levitt's legs. You got to be able to score, obviously, and Lovett doing a great job, not only offensively, but keeping Cannon Webster from getting through the head-hands defense.
Hinson has to keep his elbows in, because one of the good things that Jordan Williams does, he does a really good duck. He oftentimes does it from an elbow control. So you have to be very much disciplined in keeping your elbows in when you wrestle Jordan Williams.
Still scoreless with Van Ness and McNeil. Second period just getting started. McNeil underneath, and he gets away. So Lachlan McNeil, returning All-American for Coach Rob Cole in North Carolina, a 1-0 lead.
That was really important for McNeil there, because Van Ness is tough on top. To get that quick escape there, really, really well done by McNeil. Didn't let Van Ness get his patented legs in. Cross-body ride. Good execution.
McNeil trying to get back into the semifinals for the second straight year.
McNeil has been battle tested this year. That's the step that we were talking about. Van Ness does not do a penetration. He kind of just grabs and reaches.
And that's because he does that by staying tight in. And McNeil, again, good defense.
We were saying that McNeil has been battle tested this year. He's wrestled all types of guys in the top 10, so he knows what it's like to be in these types of matches.
Fourth year in Chapel Hill for McNeil. This is his first year at 149 after bumping up from last season. Good action on the left with Henson as he's back down, hammering in on that leg.
Got his hand behind the hamstring now, but Williams has the leg on the outside. Time runs out.
Good reshot there. And good defense there by McNeil. Two shots that were really well defended by McNeil. Now McNeil, again, the line on him is that he's not going to shoot much. So if Van Ness keeps this pressure, McNeil is going to be in trouble, because the officials are going to say who's doing all the work. McNeil has to go to a shot.
See if Jordan Williams can get the equalizer up on the board and get out from underneath as they start the third period. Henson with that claw. Williams trying to work his way back up to his feet. Henson needs to bring him down, sticks that leg in, and they go out of bounds.
Henson is strong. He does a head lever, head to the elbow, kind of puts the pressure on his opponent, and then he flattens him out. 1-1. Van Ness and McNeil.
Couple of tight matches in the quarterfinals at 149. Henson doing a nice job with this ride on Williams.
There's a lower level change right there. Nice roll through by, really nice job there, Van Ness. He got in tight, dropped. He just dropped down and drove through.
That's what we were talking about. He does not do a penetration step. He just drop, and by doing it, it's like a linebacker. You just run your feet. Watch him just drop. No penetration step. Just stay there. Run, 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 run.
And you said it well there on the run, run, run. It was his feet that made that work, and then stayed around the hips so that McNeil couldn't funk him.
And by doing that, McNeil couldn't sit to the corner.
Sit out by McNeil, now up to his feet, and he is away. So Lachlan McNeil's going to have to try to find some offense. He's going to have to open up his arsenal, if you will. Meanwhile, Williams finally got away, but Henson was able to ride him effectively in a 5-5 score. 40 seconds to go.
Henson has been in this position many times over, but a good shot there by Williams. Williams got to take his time. I know it's 30 seconds. You don't have to rush this. Stout defense there. Watch the duck. Watch the duck. Watch the duck here. Watch the duck here by Williams.
Williams looking for that pressure in by Henson, but Henson too savvy to give too much, so that he knows that duck is there.
Short time on the left. Meanwhile, Van Ness leading by 2.
I love that shot there. I love that shot by Van Ness. He does not penetrate. He lowers and runs. Really good job there. Solid win there by Van Ness over a 2-time All-American, Lachlan McNeil.
That one has to feel good for Shane Van Ness, coming off his medical red shirt a season ago. He had to play the role of the spectator, but he is healthy. And the Nittany Lions happy to have a healthy Shane Van Ness back in that lineup at 149. Sudden victory with Williams and Henson.
Look at this head position. This is good takedown.
Yeah,
right
stuffed the
here.
head and ran around. Then he comes up to his feet, trying to find the far leg. If he could drop down and find, now he's got it locked.
He's going to walk around this. He's going to walk around this.
There's the 3 and the win for the defending national title.
Somebody talk more about Caleb Henson. So strong, so tough, so smart.
Henson, the junior from Cartersville, Georgia, missed all of January with an injury. He had wrestled only 6 matches over the last 6 weeks coming into this postseason. He wins in sudden victory. Speaking of winning, just a few moments ago, Dylan D'Amelio.
He's on my all-time tough team. One of the toughest wrestlers in the tournament here, Dylan D'Amelio, getting his 2nd time on the podium, an All-American. Dylan D'Amelio.
He was an All-American a couple of years ago, placing 8th in Tulsa.
And one of the things you notice, 141, 149, they're partners, and they're building each other.
The 7-pound quarters, and we are underway.
Shapiro and Zerbin, they're at it already. I was about to say that they just go at it and have very funky styles.
Zerbin tried to hit that big throw right off the whistle, nearly executed.
Hit the mat so hard that the bounce helped with the momentum for Shapiro there.
Casack in a scoring position, Rock. He has that leg elevated of Joey Blaze.
And he's doing the right thing. With a single, you just take your time. You don't have to rush. He's got plenty of time to get it done. And when we look at singles, there's a lot of thought process that goes into a single. Now, interesting there that you call that potentially dangerous, and I get it. But clearly, Blaze put himself that way. He reached over while his leg was in that position. I get it. You do want to protect the wrestlers, but you also got to keep in mind, it was Kasich that had the single.
And you mentioned it before, Rock, that you love to let the offensive guy keep wrestling. And Casack is certainly one of those. He just competes. He's got great anticipation with lifts and turns. There's a little slide by, comes back up to the single, stays in, looking for that far leg.
Got to work up a little more. Got the takedown there. That's the right call. So one of the things that Shapiro does well, his lateral motion. He's able to lower his level and move from left to right like a pendulum. Watch why he steps. He's able to do very good misdirections. While Vinny Zerbin, when you think you're in, he's able to create opportunities to score.
We just got a peek there of the mastermind of Penn State's program, incomparable Cale Sanderson. And you know what he has put in, what he did all his competing career was he just liked to put himself in wrestling positions. He felt he was better than everybody else, and he wanted to put himself and then just figure it out. And he has put that mindset into Penn State, and that's what Casack did to get his first takedown. He just said, I got to get in and you know, scrap. And he put himself in that position, came up with the single, and then stopped at the edge of the mat, got the takedown.
Yeah, oftentimes I think we take for granted what Cale has been able to accomplish at Penn State. I mean, you look at yesterday, a perfect 20-0. It's only been done 2 other occasions in the long history of this sport. The consistency year after year.
And Vinny got a reversal there, 3-2.
You know, you say consistent there, Sean. I think that's, if I was to talk about Penn State and how they stand out and why, they consistently work to create as much action as possible.
Oftentimes in today's society, I feel that we're almost always looking ahead to what's the next best thing, that we kind of forget to put on the brakes and appreciate what we're watching right now. And this is the run that Penn State has really imposed on the rest of the college wrestling landscape and world. We get our first look at Caleb Fish, Trevor Chumbley, Northwestern scoreless into the second period. Fish will start underneath.
2 tough guys that like to be in there, and pretty exciting wrestlers too.
Chumbley lost his grip there, and Fish flips the script, and he'll get the reversal on the edge.
This is a big match for Fish to really break through.
He's in that same tough team D'Amelio is on for me. When he was at Michigan State, he was just, I mean, that's how he wrestled, just up, but he couldn't break through, couldn't get over the hump, get to the round of 12, but not in an All-American. This is big for him, and the sacrifice he made when he went to Oklahoma State when 57 opened up. He was planning a red shirt when he went down there. And then, like you mentioned, the three at 57, 65, and 74 for the Cowboys were all in the Big Ten last year at 165 pounds, and it all worked out. But it's never not because of sacrifice, and Fish is the one that made the weight sacrifice to go down.
And I think it was the right decision because he's wrestling very well.
Trevor Chumbley really waited his turn to take over the starting job at Northwestern. He sat his first 2 years behind Yaya Thomas at 149, and then he was right behind Ryan Deacon. In fact, you talk to Ryan Deacon, he'll say Trevor Chumbley was one of the unsung heroes for Deacon during his great runs in Evanston. Chumbley making his third NCAA tournament appearance, having a tough time getting out, down 2-0. As we approach the halfway point of the second period. Meanwhile, Kasak, behind that first period takedown, still leading 3-1. He's got a riding time of a minute.
And he got a stall call because he did not make an attempt to bring Blaze back to the mat. Good sweep single. Now he's got to bring that foot back in. Now he can't kick out. Now if he kicks out, Blaze has to chase him. Good wrestling here right on the edge of the mat. Nothing is going on. As we said, it's all types of craziness going on there. And reversal there for Shapiro.
Largest lead for Shapiro, 5-1 Cornell over Northern Colorado. Been the Big 12 champion.
He's using his length very well. Myers Shapiro has longer arms and longer legs. And when he has that tight waist, he lowers his hips, which makes it very difficult for his opponent to base up. So he goes to that tight waist, and then he lowers his hip.
Look how Shapiro uses that left knee to push out the knee and the base of Zerban there. Using every part of his body. Got that knee inside. When they're down, smothering Zerban on top. A lot of pressure forward.
He's one of the few guys that says he does enjoy folk style. Myers Shapiro is a world champion. He's done freestyle for so much. He said he really enjoys folk style. I like hearing that.
Tight with Kasak and Blaze, 3-2. Short time in the second period. Joey Blaze, the sophomore. He describes himself as a wrestling junkie. He will YouTube wrestling all day long. He says he watches an unhealthy amount of wrestling, and I thought it was interesting. He said he loved watching Jesse Delgado, and they asked him why, and he said, quite simply, he always let it fly.
And he always did, but Zerban got a big reversal here on Shapiro, and then he has tightened it up here. But Delgado there, Jesse Delgado, did let it fly.
Kasak gets away, so a 4-2 score. Riding time not a factor on the left. Meanwhile, Zerban trying to inch his way a little bit closer. A 5-3 deficit for Vincent Zerban.
And with Blaze, he's giving himself an opportunity here.
Really is.
It's 4-2. Riding time is not in anyone's favor. And he's going to continue to wrestle here, maybe neutral danger.
And remember, Kasak is uncharted waters himself. I mean, when he came back and wrestled last year and got third, it came from an early loss, and he had to make his way all the way back in the back. So he has not been in the semis. He's not been in this round before either.
Look how tough these guys are rolling. And that's neutral danger. That's neutral danger. That is neutral. And a takedown. Blaze has a takedown.
He stays right here and eats clock. He eats clock right here until the official puts him back.
And let's keep in mind, Blaze does have a stall against him. He's got to keep that toe in. You eat that clock up. Continue to. He's let him crawl. I love this call. Let him. You wait until they get out of bounds. You don't call a stalemate there. You let him go. Now Blaze has to figure it out here. He's got one stall call. You can see his coach saying that. He said, look, we got a stall call.
You ride here. You make that official do what you don't want the official to do, but you ride here. You don't let that affect what should be done. You do whatever you can. You lift. You drive through. Right there. You eat clock.
He doesn't want to roll. This could be an upset here. The #1 seed. Look at Blaze. Blaze got to make an attempt to bring him down. He's got the foot in. That might be an upset here. He's going to keep that toe in. The #1 seed is about to go down. One second for the first #1 seed to go down at the 2025 NCAA Championship, Division I.
The future now for the sophomore Joey Blaze. The Blaze family, his younger brother Marcus, one of the top recruits in the country, but it's Joey's time to shine today here in Philadelphia. What a moment for Purdue. Coach Ursuline and the Boilermakers, a semi-finalist.
I stand corrected. That's the second #1 seed to go down. Lillardale went down earlier.
Joey Blaze remembers watching Matt Ramos win his semifinal match. He watched it with his longtime coach, Scotty Burnett. Well, he just had his moment that Purdue fans will remember. A barn burner with Fish and Chumbley, tied at 3.
No, Chumbley just jumps out.
Chumbley just got that takedown, 6'3". He can hold on here for dear life. No need to do anything here.
Could it be Northwestern and Purdue in a semis? Chumbley versus Blaze.
Wow.
Who? It wasn't on my bingo card. But it excites me.
Shapiro with a tough ride. Has the riding point locked up. 12 seconds to go for Cornell to advance into the semis. Chumbley's just going to anchor down on that lower leg. What a moment for Trevor Chumbley. For the first time, he is going to be an All-American for Northwestern.
What a story. You know who's happy right now? Mr. Deacon.
And Matt Storniolo, the head coach. Storniolo and Purdue's Eastland. Oh my goodness, what joy.
The bracket gets turned upside down a little bit. She looked good. Those elbows are in. She knows what she's doing.
She would stall me out.
Quarterfinal matches at 165. Mitchell Messenbrink, Penn State. Cam Amin, Oklahoma State on the left. And then we have Barraclaw and Minto, Utah Valley, and Nebraska on the right.
Both matches are contrasted styles. Amin likes to hold position well, keeps it close. And if you ever see Mitchell Messenbrink, you know he's a firestorm. And then you look to the right, you have Minto and Barraclaw, fundamentally sound in all positions. Minto, you have no idea how he's going to score, but when you look at it, he scores a lot.
Barraclaw in his first season with Utah Valley arrived there from Penn State. We had a chance to talk to him a few weeks back, and he told us his love for Penn State, how grateful he was to the coaches and the staff and his teammates for everything they did for him. He just simply wanted the opportunity to be that guy in a lineup, and he has been that guy year one for Adam Hall at Utah Valley.
Nobody has a pace like Messenbrink. It's every second, every second. He goes, goes, goes.
Relentless.
Scoreless in the first period. Both matches, again, if you want to follow along with the other quarterfinals or some of the consolation matches, every single match available with our MACcast on ESPN+.
You start to wonder, because David Taylor spent some time in the Penn State room and probably rolled around with Mitchell Messenbrink, what he's told me about how to weather the storm.
Minto's looking to dig that underhook. He wants to work the underhook in an elbow tie on the tricep there. Wants to get in tighter, work that. Wants collar ties too. So what he's trying to do is dictate his ties.
And Barraclough really doesn't beat himself. He doesn't make fundamental mistakes. And this coach, Adam Hall, is one of the best young coaches out here.
Hall, longtime assistant with Pat Popolizio at North Carolina State. Shot there by Minto, working that go behind. Good recovery from Barraclough.
Great recovery by Barraclough, moving his hips out there and facing him, because Minto was almost around.
Sit the corner is Mitchell Messenbrink. Mean is pretty strong here, but Messenbrink is going to continue to move as much as he can.
Look at what Penn State has done so far in this quarterfinal round. They are just 2-3. Bartlett and Van Ness the wins. But Rock and TJ, you look at what's coming up. It's Murderer's Row for the Nittany Lions. Right now they have that half-point advantage on Nebraska in the team race.
And Nebraska is saying, yeah, we're there, but they know what's coming up in this lineup for Penn State. You may think right now, wow, Amina's had a good first period and it's 0-0. You may say that, but this pace that Mitchell Messenbrink has does not slow down. Meanwhile, Barraclough gets an escape for a 1-0 lead. Nice slide by.
Got a lift. Really good job there by Barraclough. Getting out quick.
That was the length. Oh, that was good. Right when Mitchell was trying to get by, that's when Barraclough got into a high seat. Now he's going to stay between the legs and work his way up. He's going to continue to split the legs. Watch. That right knee, he's going to try and split and lift up that ankle. Put him in neutral danger. Beautiful technique there. Split the legs, continue to work up and lift that heel.
Back and forth with Barraclough and Minto. 5-3 with that takedown. Barraclough, 35 seconds. Can he ride him out here? Meanwhile, the ride continues for Amin over on the left. Messenbrink down and up, working his way near the edge, and they go out of bounds.
This is Barraclough's best position top. He said it himself.
Has that crossbody ride in. Barraclough in a good position. Minto looking up over at that tower clock. Short time.
Strong period, ended it on top after he got taken down. Got the reversal. So look at this takedown here. He's trying to split the legs. Watch him lift that foot up. And as he walks forward, Mitchell has to make a decision either to put himself into near fall or to bail out and not give up the takedown and near fall. He decided to bail out.
The human missile, Mitchell Messenbrink, is in on that leg now. Can he finish it? Amin has done a good job slowing down his offense.
Really good job. And look how he's on top right there, putting the weight on, doing a nice job, keeping the head stuffed.
I'm a little surprised that Minto decided to go underneath Barraclough. Oh, good job just to drop it and to move forward by Mitchell Messenbrink. You see that little extra push there? That little thing, he kept the head going just a little after whistle. Oh, the little mind games.
Finished it with a pat on the shoulder.
And then after the referee pushed him off, he was like, no, I'm cool. The mind games in the NCAAs.
Minto trying to hit a roll. Barraclough stays with him. Riding time over a minute in favor of Utah Valley there. That was sit out by Minto trying to reach back.
Yeah, Barraclough doing a nice job of keeping the hips tight with him.
And Mento has got to push that leg away. You don't want to bring it to you. You want to push it out away from you. By bringing it to you, that helps Barraclough push the leg out away. And riding time is just accumulating more and more for Barraclough. No doubt about it, this is his best position.
Messenbrink moves into the third period, leading 4-0.
Big deal here, not just for Barraclough, but for Utah Valley and Adam Hall, potentially to get that first All-American if you can keep this moving.
It was a story of a homecoming for Barraclough. When he put his name into the portal, he said it was instant ding, ding, ding. All these schools wanted him, but in the end, he wanted to come back to his home state of Utah. Kaysville, Utah is where he grew up, Layton High School.
He's showing a good side of his offense by his top work. We all know about how aggressive he is on his feet, but he's showing a good job of accumulating riding time is Mitchell Messenbrink.
Oh, look at
nice,
Mento's
very nice
fire.
movement there.
Now he's got to get a takedown here. Riding time is in favor.
Underhooks.
Inside trip, he's got to attack it. He's got to attack it. Attack, he's got to attack. Inside trip. He wants to close that gap. That's it. Short time. Oh, did he do that? He shot on it. Did he get it? Oh my goodness. Mitchell got it. What wrestling there? Just like that. Holy moly.
Christopher Mento with the late magic for Nebraska.
Wow. Look at this flurry here. Right here, I don't understand why Barraclough took a shot. He took a shot and gave Mento the opportunity for the go behind. He tried to stand up, he broke him down to the mat. That is no doubt a takedown. Unbelievable. He went from not starting to now being an All-American.
Was sitting behind the two-time NCAA qualifier Bubba Wilson for that starting spot. Christopher Mento, under-recruited coming out of high school, Mariner High School in Florida. He actually met head coach Mark Manning, who you see him walking off with at the Navy Classic during his senior year. Manning just happened to be there. Mento was on his recruiting trip. The two met. And now Mento is into the semifinals for Nebraska.
TJ goes right back to it. 157 All-American. 165 training partners. Training partners help out.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what you were talking about with Mendez and D'Amelio in the Ohio State room, they're workout partners and they're emotional partners as well.
Michael Caliendo moving on, showing that Iowa is still in this race. Don't overlook the Hawkeye.
Iowa currently sitting fourth with 33 points. Caliendo is going to be a three-time All-American the last 2 years with the Hawkeyes, and that leaves us with one, and this is a good one. Peyton Hall, West Virginia. Hunter Garvin of Stanford, 6'5", all with the lead. Minute 15 to go in this third period.
Both are All-Americans, returning All-Americans. All-time win leader, Peyton Hall from West Virginia.
You can see by the body language, Hunter Garvin, he's a big thrower, but it comes early in the matches right now. These guys are tired. Who can execute when they're tired? And right now, Hall in command with that 1 point lead right there, because all he has to do is hold position.
When you're that tired, you'll go back to your training. Muscle memory.
You see Garvin just collecting his thoughts, trying to get that breath, get that blood flowing again in the body.
He doesn't have time to collect his thoughts. He has time to shoot.
I was going to say it. That last shot, it's just nothing. It doesn't look like there's anything left in the tank here.
You can't look at the clock. You just got to go. Just do something. And he's doing something.
There.
Look at it. What?
This is where he's really good.
He's got to do something real quick. Under 10 seconds, Hunter Garvin, what does he have? Smart wrestling here by Peyton Hall. Oh, if he just started that a little earlier.
Yes, good scrap there at the end.
Peyton Hall, the senior, been in this situation before, wrestled well. Hall, moving on. Semifinals, Garvin had to just started earlier. He just started his sprint too late.
Peyton Hall has been a program builder for Coach Flynn in West Virginia. Grew up in Chester, and he raises his arm into the semifinals where he will take on Caliendo of Iowa, Messenbrink and Minto on the top half of the bracket. And with 174 pounds, Keegan O'Toole, Missouri, Lennox Wallach, Virginia Tech. And on the right, they are off and running. Patrick Kennedy, the 11 seed. Well, he add his name to that list we just saw as he takes on the 3 seed Dean Hamady, year 1 in Stillwater for Hamady, who transferred in this offseason from Wisconsin.
Different builds, as you see. Hamady's a longer wrestler, and Kennedy is very stout. And immediately Keegan O'Toole gets his first takedown.
Brock, I thought it was interesting on the drive over to the arena this morning. We were talking about O'Toole's match last night with Norman, and you brought up his body language when he fell behind. And this is a guy that has seen pretty much every position during his successful years in Columbia.
And doesn't get rattled. He was behind a significant amount of points, and he turned it on. Just a cerebral rest.
He's got so much going on. He just got married. He built his own house. He's going to start a wrestling club, and he loves Columbia. His mentor, Ben Askren, 2-time NCAA champion for Missouri. Great legacy.
Watch Keegan O'Toole, single leg, brings it up high, and watch the trip, and then cover. He didn't give a chance for Wallach to roll. One of the things on the trip, once you catch the trip and the person is landed, you can just go to attack them.
Hamady staying in on that leg, 3-1 for Oklahoma State, the 3 seed.
Nice leg pass by Kennedy, but great recovery by Hamady. He could roll with the best. Tremendous career. Wisconsin in the Big Ten, then coming to Oklahoma State. He's had a great year so far.
Told us he obviously wants to continue to wrestle internationally, maybe 79 kilos. And a bonus point machine his first year at Oklahoma State. Wrestling up at 174 for the first time in his career after competing at 165 throughout his years in Madison.
One of the things you see with that Keegan O'Toole is doing, because Wallach likes to go underhook to an inside trip, and he's blocking off that underhook attempt by Wallach. Watch how he works this. Everybody just watch how he's patient. He's not rushing his position, slowly popping the head off, and yet he didn't roll through. He's going to try and hook that bottom leg. You see he's trying to hook that bottom leg. Wallach's doing a good job of keeping the hips close to his chest.
And that's the key, Rock, because he saw the official get in there with that neutral danger and start the count.
And gave the 3.
One of the things that you saw with that takedown that Keegan O'Toole did, he had his right arm to the outside. He switched and brought that right arm to the inside and was able to finish there. Very good technique there.
Rock, I spent a day with him in early February for the Game On piece, and his mind is so analytical and he's so technical. He's got all those situations broken down to like a step-by-step checklist he's got to go through to finish on his singles. I was also just amazed at his perpetual positivity. His mind is so strong. He refuses to see anything but gold at the end of his rainbow.
Yeah, I just call Levi Haynes, just what Quentin was saying, I just call him one of those guys. He's just one of those guys. He didn't compete in high school his senior year because he wanted to train that system that he knew that would bring him success.
You're seeing a lot of the upper echelon wrestlers in high school doing that they are foregoing their senior year. The first one I could really recall doing it with much success is Kyle Snyder.
Aaron Brooks took a year at the Olympic Training Center as well, so there is some consistency to that.
You heard Quinn talk about Game On. This is a must-see if you are into wrestling. Journey to the NCAA championships, top teams and athletes competing. We have features on Penn State, Oklahoma State, the Panther train of UNI, and as Quinn just talked about, Missouri, and the introduction of funk into the sport of college wrestling. That is streaming now on ESPN+. I'll tell you what, with the Askrens and with the funk and the scrambles, the referee's job got a lot harder.
It sure did. You got to be patient and know what you're looking at.
You were talking about the difference between the 1%, Rock, the elite there. You know, the thing that I see is, you know, they fall in love with wrestling, not winning. You know, the wrestlers that are not afraid to get scored on are the most dangerous. You know, it's just they want to go out there, score points. They're not afraid to get scored on because they believe they're going to score more points. The most important point to them is the next one, and that's the mindset of both O'Toole and Haynes.
O'Toole in control, second period, 9-1. Haynes a 4-1 lead. Wask of Navy.
Navy's doing a pretty good job this tournament. 2 quarterfinalists, they're wrestling tough.
Last year was such a special year at this tournament for the academies. We saw Air Force, we saw Army, the Naval Academy all have success. Navy keeping that going. O'Toole well in control. Let's get our first look at Hamady and Kennedy, TJ. And Hamady right now leading by a point.
Hamady knows how to protect those leads. But Kennedy, he knows how to stay in his lane, and right now it's in his lane to at least have a match that's close, because if he can get the escape here, there he does. Now he's in it right there. All he has to do is get in, get that underhook. He wants to get in, and Hamady beat him before he could even sink that underhook. Nice shot by Hamady. Way to pull the trigger.
Hamady used his length very well. He took a long shot, and because his arms are long, he was able to grab and finish.
And Kennedy had it right there for him, but, you know, before he could even get set, Hamady was in.
Very important that he gets out in the next 20-some seconds. So the riding time doesn't go in the direction of Hamady.
It's a really good match.
Now watch the shot here. Long arms, and just continue to cut the corner and reach across. Watch him reach across and then get the takedown.
And in context, that was within a second and a half of the escape.
Continuous wrestling. Okay, we're in this right here. No riding time. 8-6. We saw this happen.
He's got the low shot here. Kennedy is a gritty wrestler.
He's going to run across. He's got to take his time.
Hey,
run across. What defense there by Hamady.
Just got a little hasty there, Kennedy did.
We saw this with Kasich and Blaze. Looks like he may have a shiner on the right eye for Kennedy. He's going in there.
Yeah, he's got looking for that underhook. Works the head to.
He's got to get his head on the other side.
It's all about head position right here. Same with Hamady.
Yeah, that's a stall call there.
Meanwhile, on the right, very quietly, Danny Wask, a takedown away from maybe pulling off some magic here. Wask down 4-2 to Penn State's 2 seed, Levi Haynes.
He's got to shoot here. Good defense.
Haynes gets the takedown, and that should seal it for Penn State.
Kennedy's still going in there. He's got to try something here. And he's going to hold on. Dean Hamady. We got what we expected. The number 2 versus number 3. Sean, we talked about that in the Game On, about the contrasting styles, the length of Hamady, and the tightness and its closeness that Levi Haynes has to wrestle. That's going to be a great semifinal match.
Ames, the 3-time Big Ten champion. Victory over Wask, and now we finish up with the other 2 quarterfinal matches. O'Toole, nothing has changed here, still leading 9-1 with Wall Lake. Cade DeVos, South Dakota State. Still early stages, second period, a 3-1 lead for DeVos.
And DeVos was the number 2 seed last year at this tournament. Did not end the way he wanted it to, but now he has an opportunity to get to the semifinals. This Ruiz kid, Yanni Diakmahala, said he's high on him. And that's coming from a 4-time national champion who knows what it takes. Under a minute to go. DeVos is doing the right thing. And we talked about this before, TJ. People are starting their sprints a little too late.
You got to work and score. If you're really about what you say, it's you know, the talking's easy. You know, if you're saying I'm about scoring points, well, you know, it is about 1 point at a time. But sometimes you got to start right now, and that's your point. When you're behind, you've got to start now.
At this point, this way, you just do your down block defense, circle, down block, and circle.
Don't worry about whether he gets out again. You go right back in. You got to score the takedown now.
DeVos just got a down block. Don't worry about shooting. Stalling, you're not going to get stalled out here.
Good job of circling back in by DeVos.
You want to end this period on a high note.
The NCAA Wrestling Championships continue tonight in Philadelphia. Catch the semifinal round action at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2 and the ESPN app. For more information, visit NCAA.com, the home for all 90.
They have high hopes. They want to finish higher, but if they end up in the top 10, it's great momentum for both programs. And there they are in sixth, around the 6th place. And, you know, where you are today, right now at the end of this round, it's hard to displace you too far from the position you're in.
Good shot there. Right where we saw Ruiz. I was about to comment on how he's moving forward, but Ruiz is lifting up the hips and scooting at the same time. Not doing one or the other, he's doing both. Scooting and lifting.
And DeVos is wanting to get that leg over his head, because you're right, Ruiz is doing a nice job of trying to beat that shoulder there. Plenty of time. See, DeVos is trying to get that heel down. Keep that shoulder tight.
As long as there's motion, it's unlikely that there will be a stalemate.
Nice post there with his left hand.
How about the success of Mike Gray throughout the years with Cornell with freshmen at these national tournaments? Yanni won the first of his 4 NCAA titles as a freshman in 18. Gray told us the gray shirt oftentimes better than the red shirt because you get to wrestle way more matches and you get assigned specifically to a senior level wrestler in some of those RTCs.
And from an individual standpoint, Sean, they don't redshirt at Cornell. If they graduate from Cornell, they still have that extra year. And so,
as we will see a little bit later on in the session with Cardenas of Michigan. 4-2 here, DeVos. Home stretch we go.
You know, DeVos is doing all the little things right. You know, Simon Ruiz is attacking, and DeVos is playing the game. He's keeping his hips to the outside of the out of bounds. It's going to be hard to get a takedown here from this position. So, 18 seconds left. We've seen this happen with Vinnie Robinson last night. We saw this with Kasak earlier today. It is not over. You see that circle? That's just smart. And then he circles back to the out of bounds.
Because he can take one here.
8 seconds. Now he's got to be really smart here because he can't moonwalk. He can't moonwalk. He's got to stay in. Is that it? Oh, look how he danced.
One last ditch attempt there by Ruiz, and Cade DeVos punches his ticket into the semifinals, and he is a 2-time All-American. Back-to-back years for DeVos. The 13 seed, and he will try to figure out Keegan O'Toole, while the bottom half, Parker Keckeisen.
Parker Kekaisen, he wrestles hard, and he wrestles in every position hard. While Carter Starachi is pressure forward, and he cuts off the mat. Nice throw by there by Kekaisen.
Edmund Ruth is not an easy guy to take down, and it just made it look so easy there.
Ruth from Illinois likes Starachi moving up a weight this year.
Yeah, he moved up a weight this year. He was a Big Ten champion last year, and All-American at 174. And it's been a little bit different for him. You know, at 84, you can't move him like you can move him at 74. But right now, Parker Kekaisen really working Ruth from the bottom there, stretching him out. A lot of pressure there. Look at those toes pushing forward.
Watching up for Carter Starachi, you see that this is where he does a lot of his work. He just slowly stalks his opponent and then gets into his leg attacks.
Smith and Starachi, a rematch of the Big Ten semifinals. Starachi won 12-2. Jackson Smith, a redshirt junior, another wrestler from the state of Georgia, Woodlawn High School. Strong season for Maryland this year. The team went 9-10 overall, 3-5 in the Big Tens, which was their best conference record since joining the Big Ten. This year they are sending more than 5 wrestlers to this tournament for the first time under Alex Clemson. We described yesterday, really has this program looking good.
The forward pressure, and it's not straight ahead pressure that you see with Starachi. It's pressure by cutting off angles, but always moving forward. And this is an impressive ride here by Kekaisen. Over 2 minutes of riding time.
Trying to get to that angle on the shot is Starachi. Has the right leg elevated. Plenty of time to finish this off. Tries that foot sweep. Couldn't quite capture that second leg. He'll try to keep his toe inbounds inside that cylinder. And did Starachi get it? Yes, he did. Give him the 3 on the edge.
Staying aggressive is Parker Kekaisen.
There's not a more aggressive wrestler on their feet and on the mat than Kekaisen. Is there a tougher wrestler than Starachi? I mean, looking forward to this if it happens.
They wrestled earlier this year in an exhibition all-star match won by Carter Starachi, but it was a 1 takedown match. Kekaisen was in on a single, couldn't finish it, but Carter Starachi was able to finish his shot.
Starachi continuing to ride. Short time in the first period, able to get that takedown a few moments ago. Looks like he'll carry a 3-0 lead into the second period. Kekaisen, after the Ruth escape, able to capture both legs. Toe drag as he looks up for the 3. The next stop on the F1 schedule is the Chinese Grand Prix at the challenging Shanghai International Circuit. Pre-race coverage begins at 1:30 a.m. Eastern, early Sunday morning on ESPN2. Race follows over on ESPN at 3 a.m. Eastern, also streaming live on the ESPN app. I know you're going to be up, Rock. You're still going to be juiced from Saturday night. You're not going to bed.
You're right about that. I will not. Responding to the social media, has been quiet on there. I want to be focused on wrestling. A shot in there by Ruth. He's in there. Did he get a takedown? That's close to a takedown against. Whoa. Tough wrestling there by both wrestlers.
See if Ruth, TJ goes back to that double that he nearly connected on with Keckeisen.
Well, I'll tell you, Ruth, one thing he has is great conditioning. There's no harder wrestler in the room, and is he explosive. I've always felt, I mean, he lives by the sword and dies by the sword, takes things to one takedown matches, but when he wants to score, he can, but he's just up against somebody that's just a bit better in Parker Keckeisen.
Let's just watch Carter Starace, where he takes his opponent. He starts to stalk them, and somehow they get towards that out of bounds, and that's when Carter really pressures his offense. Slowly stalking, cutting off angles. See it? Already getting towards that out of bounds. He just puts so much pressure. There he is, right there again. He does it so methodically and gets to his shot. He can finish it. Now, at this point, it is Carter Starace who is the aggressor. There's no doubt about it.
Keckeisen in control over 3.5 minutes of riding time as they go to the third period, leading 10-2 in a barn burner at 184 with McAnally and Foca. Cornell of Minnesota tied at 6.
Foca's wrestling well.
Chris Foca, the Ivy League champion. Veteran 60-year wrestler out of Cliffside Park, New Jersey. 4-time NCAA qualifier. Made it to the round of 12 a year ago in a battle with the young freshman Max McAnally, and McAnally is away. A redshirt freshman goes up 7-6. What a year it's been for McAnally. 4 state championships out of Minnesota, 3 different weight classes.
Uses his feet very well. Former running back, and does good fit motion there. We were talking about it.
Yeah, good pivot by Foca there.
He's wrestling well beyond his years and maturity.
Took his first loss in college last week against Starace in overtime. Didn't lose at all last year as a redshirt. Oh, look at that. Followed around, got behind the elbows. Really nice work. Flow. What, you know, you look at him, you think, wow, he's hard. He flows so well.
Yes. Good footwork.
What it's always about, isn't it?
Pay attention how he slides his feet. Doesn't cross.
No, and it's pat, 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 pat. You know, look at that. I mean, it's not heavy, it's light.
It's like he's trying to dodge a secondary player coming up for the tackle or a linebacker right now. He knows he can play with this lead. He's just going to dodge every possible attack from Foca. McAnally had a chance to play college football. He was recruited by some FCS power hitters such as South Dakota State, the Bison of North Dakota State, but in the end he chose wrestling. A wise choice, and McAnally, a 10-7 win against the veteran Foca, the youth of this weight, into the semifinals tonight.
Here's the crazy thing. Keckeisen has got another bonus win. Bonus to everybody last year, still bonusing everybody in this tournament. We're going to have a nice semifinals here.
Keckeisen scored 19 in his opening round win. Tech Fall put up 14 last night. Now today, 13 against a tough customer in Ruth. Dustin Plott, Oklahoma State, 11-5 lead for Silas Allred. Allred has had the knack pulling the rabbit out of the hat late in his matches yesterday. Can he do the same here with 30 seconds to go? Starace keeps his course for history set. That radar locked on a Saturday night in a 5th NCAA championship. Winner by major decision, 9-1, and another bonus point for the Nittany Lions.
Very much of a controlled win by Starace, and nobody's talking about Dustin Plott. He's a returning national finalist here.
A workman-like win there for Plott. Very much controlled, just like you would say.
Fibonacci plot. The 1 versus the 4, 2 versus the 3. One of the rare weights where the seeds have held true to form.
And then we got Isaac Trumbull and Wyatt Hendrickson. Let's wrestle.
Colton Schultz, Arizona State, the veteran, the 5-time NCAA qualifier. Can he slow down Stevenson? No, he cannot. 15 seconds in, Stevenson gets the early takedown. Hendrickson, early offense as well on Isaac Trumbull, a 3-1 lead for the senior for Oklahoma State.
And we're looking at two guys that could be the 2 Olympic heavyweights in 2028 in LA, Greco and freestyle, out here on the mat today on the left. Who knows?
You don't know.
It's good to think about.
And Trumbull has to slow Hendrickson down. Hendrickson comes out and he explodes. He blows through you on his feet. But Trumbull wants to slow you down and get to a position where he's on top. But Hendrickson is just doing a fantastic job of attacking.
Yeah, really nice job of finding the angle, using his head as a lever, coming around for the second takedown.
Strong start for Hendrickson. 6-1. Stevenson a 3-1 advantage on Schultz.
Oh, he's got the elbow trapped in there, but Trumbull able to get to his base and face Hendrickson.
You look at Schultz and Stevenson, 2 massive bodies here in this heavyweight division. And Schultz made it all the way to the national championship in 2022. He lost to Stevenson that year in the finals.
One of the things that Stevenson does well is misdirection. And when you have a big body like Schultz, that might be something that he might want to attempt. But who am I to tell Gable Stevenson what he should do?
Oh, look at that level change, drop down to the low ankle, hitting him up, and a knockdown for the 3. I love it. It's got that knockdown thing going with the right arm to the side of the head.
I mean, the power involved in that. He made Schultz look like he's a 25-pounder.
And look at what Hendrickson doing here. It looks like a fall is coming soon, and there it is. Domination. His 3rd fall of this tournament. Wyatt Hendrickson. Hey, look, after you pin me, don't hug me, man. Don't rub my back. Good sportsmanship, though.
Hendrickson, the winner by fall.
All-American
points
boy
for Oklahoma State.
Newton, Kansas, All-American boy and hero of ours as he commits to service for our country.
So Stevenson took neutral for the second period.
You know, they come from somewhere where they developed. A shout out to Coach Sam Barber, the head coach at Air Force, who did so much for Hendrickson, you know, developing, giving him the opportunity, encouraging him before graduating from Air Force Academy.
I mean, this is the way he moves and how powerful he is. I mean, he moves like a lightweight, attacks like a middleweight, and has the power of a heavyweight.
You're talking about Keeter. I'm telling you, I'm looking at Keeter, and if you told me a month ago of his development that he had right here for the Iowa heavyweight, and then talk about, it's not the all sports guy, you know, this is a shout out for multiple sport athletes.
Love it.
At City High in Iowa City, you know, all-state football, the best, undefeated, 4-time state champion in wrestling, and maybe the love of his of the sport was baseball. He was a baseball player, teammates with Dan Gable's grandson, and it's just great to see multiple sports stars excel. And so he went to Iowa, linebacker, 2-sport athlete, and said, okay, I want to try giving wrestling a full year. Has never done it before, and I think we're seeing the development of a heavyweight that's going to be around a long time on the podium.
Treffin the escape.
Good snatch there by Treffin.
And Treffin's so tough, and what a fit for Treffin coming to Lehigh and that program and being in that RTC with those guys, Jordan Wood,
Zach
Ray, such a mentor at heavyweight.
Yeah, and the stars really align for Treffin. You see Keeter get up to his feet, he is away, but for Treffin, keep in mind, Lehigh starter Nate Taylor went down early in the season with an injury, and Treffin was sitting behind Isaac Trouble on that North Carolina State depth chart. So Pat Papalizio called him up and said, Owen, he called Coach Santoro up and said, Owen's a great guy. You want to get him onto the roster and into the program, and that's what they did. It's been a perfect fit for Santoro. Treffin with the 4-1 lead.
Let's look at the shot here. He just did a snatch, and watch him get the head up and pop, head to the outside, pop, and go across the body.
Great lift and return by Treffin.
Well, one thing we learned about Treffin on our conversation with him, he's actually part of the ROTC. He's an officer, and we talked about how he will be commissioned in May, infantry officer in the Army, and he's going to head to Fort Benning in May. He's got some wrestling to do before that, though. 4-1 lead, third period with Keeter of Iowa. Kirkfleet on the left, Penn State, the defending national champion. He's kept Heiselman at bay.
Heiselman is not backing down. Now he's got to create some offense. And you see this often a lot with heavyweights. They don't like to get underneath, so they take a little step and then they snatch. We call it a snatch single because they're not penetrating. They're just snatching the arm. It's very safe in case someone sprawls.
Treffin doing a really nice job, keeping good possession, moving. He's moving his feet, good feet movement, and then when he got that lift and return, that's one of the fundamentals that is a game changer as well.
Good job there by Treffin, trying to circle out. And circle out. Smart wrestling here, right in time, not a factor. There was a stall call against Treffin there.
A lot of time left here.
This point is where Keeter, we talked about it before, the sprint has got to start now.
Right
Let's create
now.
something.
Yep.
Now Treffin, he's getting on the leg. He's got to continue to circle here.
So hard at heavyweight. I mean, obviously you can't go straight on, but he just hadn't been able to find the angles. So you got to do something, like you said, create, get in wrestling position.
Now he can put on the skates. Now he can put on the skates.
Well, very quietly in a weight class that has the stars of Kirkfleet, Hendrickson, Steveson, Owen Treffin has put together a perfect mark here in his final year of wrestling, unbeaten and into the semifinals.
Kirkfleet advances as well. Let's not forget Kirkfleet is the defending national champion. And let's look at the end of this match. Watch this explosion here by your man, Gable Steveson. Going against, and watch this run through.
Dropped his level, drove through with the angle on the hips. Not done by many heavyweights. There's a lot of things that he does that's not done by many heavyweights.
He got the stall call and then the takedown, 20-5 against a multiple-time All-American Schultz. Must-see TV tonight, Gable Steveson.
Semifinals on ESPN2. You take a look at the matchups. Seymour and Robinson, Ventresca Spratley at 125. Bird and Romney, Cal Poly represented, Ayala Fugit at 133. At 141 pounds, Nebraska's Big Ten champion. The Huskers get ready for that 1-2 punch of Hardy and Lovett. He gets Cale Happel of UNI. Bartlett and Mendez collide. At 157, Joey Blaze taking on Trevor Chumbley. Not many brackets had that. Antrell Taylor, Meyer Shapiro at 157. Seeds hold true pretty much at 165 with the exception of Minto of Nebraska blowing up that party. 174 pounds, Cade DeBoss. Can he figure out Keegan O'Toole? O'Toole at a new weight this year for Missouri. Hamady and Haynes must-see TV at 174. And then the seeds do hold true at 184. The young man of the bunch, Max McAnally, he takes on Parker Keckeisen. You have the veteran, the old reliable Dustin Plott. trying to deny Carter Spiraci history as he looks for his 5th NCAA title. We'll close out the night at 197 in heavyweight. Cardenas of Michigan, Barr of Penn State, Buchanan and Ferrari, and then Gable Steveson at heavyweight looking for his 3rd national championship. You look at the team standings, Penn State right now, 90.5 points. Nebraska sitting 2nd.